Good morning, traders. Welcome to the live trading room. I hope you are all doing well this morning. Let's go through all the pairs. We are scanning through all the pairs, and we will touch on the trade setups that we have discussed yesterday as well. Let's get started with the DXY. The DXY, as you can see on the 4-hour, this is going to continue lower. This is a continuation to the downside. We are top here. We are bottom below 50%. Welcome, everybody, and good morning. All right, morning, William. Morning, Keith. Welcome, guys. So we are going to continue to the downside here on the DXY. So even if this happens, so just be mindful of this. You need to get clear confirmation. There is the possibility that this can make a 3 waves like this before coming down. So do not just rush into it like that. If it is confirmation, then this 4-hour candle must close below the flag here. It's even better to buy or to sell it rather at around this area. Okay, it is the same case with Euro US dollar. We're expecting continuation to the upside. As you can see here, also the structure is not so clean on the 4-hour. There's a possibility it can do this. You'll think it's going down, but it will actually continue to move to the upside. This one still needs to reset here. The bottom has not quite done that. So that may happen with this move coming to the downside around this area. We are above 50, so that means bullish on Euro US dollar. Okay, so we're expecting a continuation move to the upside on Euro US dollar and a move to the downside on the DXY. Pound US dollar will continue to the upside as well. Has made a nice flat correction here. It is the nice area to buy is the close above this flag here. This 4-hour candle closing above the flag, we should see this one continue to the upside. So from the blue box during the NFP, we've now made a continuation pattern here. We should see this one continue to the upside. That is what we're going to be looking at on Euro US dollar, DXY, and Pound US dollar. That means US dollar weakness, as you'll see with US dollar chief, there is weakness on the US dollar chief, so we are going to see this continue to the downside. There is no setup on the 4-hour, but however, 1 hour should give us a possible setup. Let's have a look. So the 1 hour is giving us a setup for more downside here. So continuation to the downside on the 1 hour. Very risky to be selling at these levels. Obviously, that's because we've already made such a big move to the downside. At 1 hour, as you can see, all these flags, every time that happens, look at what happens there, look at what happens with this flag. It's exactly the same situation that we're in currently. So we should see this continue to the downside. Moving down slowly though, but moving down nonetheless. So that is how we're looking at US dollar chief. Let's just get some videos off here as well. Right, so that's fine. So we are looking for more downside on US dollar chief. US dollar CAD, obviously, we know about this. We know very well what is happening with this. Has made a flat correction. That means that this is a continuation pattern. We should see US dollar CAD continue to the downside. This is a 3-wave pullback here after the move to the downside. Let's just do this here on the US dollar CAD. Very clear structure here. Let's switch everything off here so we can only see the structure. So if you look at this structure, this is a flat correction here. Okay, we can look at this as a flat correction with a move to the upside, a move to the downside, and a move to the upside. And lower degree here, we've got a complex correction in 3 waves as follows. So that's why we're now coming down with this move here, which is downside, continuation to the downside, continuation of the trend to the downside. We have not made a move, we have not made a reversal. Instead, we've made a continuation pattern. So this is a 4-hour trade setup for more downside, which we'd expect to come around the 20,000, 1.2 level again before any push to the upside. So let's have a look at the indicator. Indicator has already started playing out here with this having not even closed below the flag. So that is what we are looking at. Or this is actually the 1 hour. So this should still be in play. We should still see this one continue to the downside. You may even get this doing the one more up here. So if it does one more up, let's just show you the structure that it will be making if it gives you one more up. So we've got a move here. We've got a clear 3 waves really here for more downside. So, but you know, the market is not always straightforward. So you can do something like this. We get here. It drops as if you're gonna, it's confirmed, it makes one more move to the upside, and then we get a move like this. So that's also a possibility of that playing out that way. Okay. All right, so that is how we're looking at US dollar CAD. Somebody says there is no audio, is that correct? Or is it just one person? Somebody just confirm there is audio. If there's audio, just type yes on the chat box. Otherwise, say if you can just respond to that person and say the audio is fine. They need to reset on their side. As far as I'm concerned, on my side, there is nothing wrong here. All right, so that is what we are looking at. Okay, so we are looking at now Audi US dollar. It has made a three-wave move here and looking for this to continue pushing to the upside. We are on the 1 hour, however. I prefer confirmations on the 4 hour. Those are more high probable than just the 1 hour setup. Okay, so let's have a look here on the 1 hour. So the 1 hour is actually, we're not getting a trade setup here. This is not a trade setup at this stage because we are at the top here. We're above 50. So for the strategy, guys, that is discussed in the course. So we're looking at this one to possibly make another pullback here before we continue to the upside. So just keep an eye around Audi US dollar like that. Make note of Audi yen when we get to it. It's got a similar structure as Audi US dollar as well. Right, in New Zealand, it's not out of the woods yet as far as the resumption of the move to the upside is concerned. We've got the 5 waves here. We've got 3 waves here. This is pulling back to the upside here. This may only just go to the upside based on what we're looking at on the New Zealand yen and Audi yen. But let's have a look at how this is going to play out. It's a bit too deep for it to continue to the upside. But if you're looking at the indicator on the 1 hour, there is no confirmation for upside as yet. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. 4 hour will not even have a setup here. Let's have a look if we do have a setup. Oh yes, we actually have a setup on the 4 hour. That setup will only trigger if we have got a 4 hour candle closing above the flag. Then that is a trigger for upside. And then we're going to put in the stop 30 pips below the low of the flag as per the strategy. Okay, then we'll look for upside. That is New Zealand US dollar. So we are bullish New Zealand US dollar. US dollar ZAR. US dollar ZAR continues lower with this flag. We are continuing to the downside. US dollar strength is still imminent, rather not, US dollar weakness is still imminent. So that is why we are going to see US dollar ZAR at least come and take 1340 from 1352 currently. Okay, so very clear structures. You know what's happening in the market. There is US dollar weakness. That's why all the pairs against the US dollar are strong. And in this case, the move to the downside means a strong ZAR. If you look here on my tab, I was looking at the BRICS currencies versus the US dollar. It's showing weakness. I just don't want to open it because there is a company that is put up those charts, so I don't want to promote that. Right, so this is US dollar ZAR, pound yen. Let's go into the pound pairs. Now, let's have a look here. Are we in the blue box yet as far as pound yen is concerned? Let's have a look and draw the fib here. So looking at this, we are looking at the blue box is already projected. We've missed it by a few pips. This is where we are as far as the blue box is concerned. So now, because it did not quite confirm on the blue box, this is what we're going to do. We are going to wait for this to either break out of this or give us another confirmation on the 1 hour. Even before, then we'll look for this to go again and retest the 156 or the blue box actually at 156.71. Then we will say that that has now made a move that we were looking for. Okay, so that is a pound yen. Look for a continuation to the upside. We are popping up above 50, but that does not mean anything yet, and it does not mean a trade setup to the upside either, because we are at the top here. The trade setup should come possibly on the 1 hour. That's how we're going to look at that. US dollar yen. So US dollar yen has made this, it looks like a flat correction, but the concern is this here. So as far as US dollar yen is concerned, as long as we've got this structure like this, we should see US dollar yen. Even if it makes a move like this, we should see it continue to the downside like this. This is possible with the US dollar weakness and the rest of the pairs. There is a possibility that we actually continue to the downside. We are still looking bearish on this here. That is here, US dollar yen, euro yen. Now, euro yen, similarly to US dollar yen. We've got a pullback. We're expecting a 3-wave pullback here on euro yen, but we've got what looks like a pulsing move and what looks like a correction. Is this correction just going to do this and give us the structure that we're looking at? As far as this is concerned, you can see we're still bearish unless this one starts pushing to the upside. So be careful with this one pushing to the upside here. It could just be to come around this level and make a 3-wave structure here before we make a move to the upside. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. Same thing with the chief. Chief is slightly different because chief is confirming upside structurally, but not as far as the indicator is concerned. We've got that upside on the structure and we're getting this continuation pattern for more upside. But let's check this one here on the 1 hour to see if that's going to continue to the upside. I just don't like the fact that the 1 hour, or rather the 4 hour, is not giving us a setup. But on the 1 hour, we are going to see continuation to the upside, and that is a nice trade to take actually on the chief. So watch chief yen for continuation to the upside. This is a nice trade setup. We could also, I think this is already uploaded under trade setups for more upside. Look out for chief yen for more upside. It's a very nice structure to look at. CAD yen. CAD yen, we looked at this one to be giving us a 3-wave pullback here, a 1, a 2, and we are in the blue box. We want to see this push to the upside. Are we getting divergence here? We're getting very strong divergence. We are above 50 on the 4 hour, so we would want to see a confirmation of a trade setup on the 1 hour for more upside. New Zealand. Remember the structures on New Zealand US dollar. So we've got what looked like a continuation pattern. That's what we said yesterday. As much as we were looking at this to be the blue box, we didn't like the fact that it was going up correctively. So with that, this looks like it is still going to give us a pullback, a push to the upside, a continuation pattern. Even if we do see upside, it may just be to make this continuation pattern. So let's not rush New Zealand yen. So we may see slight upside, which would just be the completion of that correction. Audi yen, trade setup. We discussed this one yesterday. This one on the 1 hour, there's a trade and it is confirmed. It is ready, okay? The trade is ready, it has triggered, it has checked all the boxes. As you can see here, has it? No, not quite yet. Just missing the 1 hour to close here. Then you'll put your stop loss about 30 pips below here. So that is what you're waiting for here. Strictly speaking, if you look following the strategy, this candle should close above the flag. Everything else confirms here for more upside. All right, that is Audi yen. Gold. So gold, we have made a 5-wave move to the upside. We are now looking at this to be a corrective structure. Is this going to continue to push the upside? With the euro pushing to the upside, that means that the upside may be as a result of the weakness in the US dollar. So we will look for this to continue pushing to the upside. Whether it makes a deeper pullback here, we're just waiting for this structure. Let's look at that structure. It's a bit of a messy structure at this stage, but what it looks like is that 1, 2, 3 has played out. We've got a move to the upside. We're getting this one here. So we'll look for gold to continue to the upside. Either it can retest the previous high, one more down and then upside. Let me draw this one clearly and zoom in a bit here on gold so you can see the structure clearly. So we don't force structures as it is. What we see should be an exact Elliott wave structure. These are 3 waves to the downside. It doesn't matter whether it came with spikes or not. And around here, we've got a lower degree 1, and then this is a 2 here. This is another a flat correction. Even if it looks like a flag, we'll be looking for this, either for this to continue all the way, or it can do this, and then we get another 3 waves to the downside as follows, or 5 waves, it doesn't matter. Then gold can push to the upside. So that is what the structure that we're looking at. If we get a confirmation for a buy setup here on gold, you can take it, move your stop to break even when you get to this level, because when you get to this level, there's a possibility for this to make a 3-wave pullback or a 5-wave pullback to get to this level. Then it will simply be giving us a structure like this, and then upside, just like that. So that's what we're going to be looking at, WX and Y here on gold. That's how we're going to be looking at that. Right, gold, silver. Is silver going to push to the upside? We are also making a pullback since the push to the upside. This was the blue box that we projected before the NFP. 1, 2, 3 down here. Again, we are seeing these 3 waves down, and this is another what looks like a 3 waves to the upside that can do this in a structure like this on silver. Brent crude. There's nothing new to say on Brent crude. Every time you get a 1-hour correction, this is going to continue pushing to the upside. Nothing new, no trade setup. It's just an impulse. There's nothing to analyze as far as an impulse is concerned. Let's go to the 4-hour here on pound CAD. It's doing what we expect it to do, but it's a messy structure. This upside is quite messy. We're actually looking for this to come and retest the low here. Okay, so if not, that means we could be getting here a leading diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a pullback here, and then a move to the upside. So that would have played a structure like this. I would have not looked at a trade here since this structure has been messy. So this is what we're looking at, a move up, a correction. Are we ready for another leg to the upside? Let's see here and check the indicator as well. We are above 50, but we are right at the top. So what we want to see is this a continuation pattern? That's what it was at that stage, but it did not look clean. So what you can look at is a 1-hour here. Let's look at the 1 hour there and see if we've got a trade set up. Almost a trade setup on the 1 hour, but still not very clean, not very clean. I don't like it very much. So let's not force it. If it comes down here, then maybe we can look to take it around the blue box area for more upside. Pound Audi. Pound Audi as well, making what looks like a 3-wave structure, but we are above 50 here on the 1 hour. East is going to make a continuation pattern, and then we see downside. That can only be confirmed if we see the 1 hour candle closing below the flag. The pound New Zealand. Same, but we're seeing more upside here. This would have looked like a 3-wave structure, but this is showing continuation to the upside. Upside, upside. Okay, we should see more upside here on pound New Zealand. Pound Chief. Pound Chief has made a 3-wave pullback, 1, 2, 3, but that 3-wave pullback is coming with this above 50, so that may be a move to the down to the upside. So let's just watch that. If it is not, we are going to look for this trade setup. Let's look at the Euro pace. Let's go back to the 4 hour. Euro pound should continue to the downside as follows. Should break lower. After confirmation, that's the 4 hour. So this should continue to the downside. We'll see downside there. Euro Audi. We've updated this one. We're looking for a drop. All checks are almost complete. So we want to see this close below the flag. We are already here. We are already here. So let's see if it's going to break to the downside. This was a chart of the week. Euro New Zealand. So Euro New Zealand may actually reverse at current levels just because of the indicator. So let's just watch that for now. Euro CAD, trade setup from last week has been going pretty slowly, has not really gone anywhere. And this could be a setup for downside that can take us back to just 145.60, 145.60, somewhere around that. So that is going pretty slowly, but it looks like we've got a setup there. It looks like we've got a setup on EuroCAD. Right? We want the candle to close below the flag. We want this to be below 50. There's something on the chat box. Let's have a look. If we're expecting a sell trade on GBP CAD and we have already confirmed buy trade on GBP JPY, does that mean CAD JPY is ready? Which one is CAD? Oh, you mean CAD JPY? No, it does not mean that at all. It does not mean that. CAD yen goes with the yen pairs, and it mostly influenced by oil on the CAD side. Pound CAD, however, you have to look at the correlation strength between the pairs. There is no correlation between pound CAD and CAD yen, so we cannot relate all of those pairs. And in any case on pound CAD, like I said, this structure, I don't like this structure as yet. I don't like it as yet. So this is on the 4-hour. As much as we're seeing upside, I don't like the fact that this is going up like this. So I'm not getting involved on this one as yet until I get maybe another 1-hour confirmation for upside. Or better yet, on pound CAD, I'd want to be interested after we are done with this correction. Then I will know that this was actually a move 1, 2, 3, and then we're looking for upside. So I'm not going to get involved now on pound CAD, and as well CAD yen. Let's have a look again at CAD yen just to answer your question. So CAD yen, we are looking at this one to be reversing as follows: 1, 2, 3 into the blue box. We want to see this one make a move to the upside. We are still below 50, so no confirmation of that upside, and we are at the top here. So the trade you may find on the 1 hour where this is now going to be the flag. I don't know if that answers your question, Haino. Is it Haimano? Right. Let's continue with the Euro pairs. Euro CAD, we've already done. Euro Chief, there's nothing new about Euro Chief. We're expecting it to continue to the downside to give us the new blue box. If you want to know what I mean by the new blue box, just watch the previous videos. We want to see this continue to the upside. So when we saw this making continuation pattern here, we said that's going to make a move to the downside. We're actually looking for this to be the blue box. It was not, even when it pulled back, it was still not the blue box, but instead made a continuation pattern. We are looking for this to continue to the new blue box. Let's look at the crosses. Audi New Zealand is still bullish to the upside. You don't have a trade set up. If you wanted, you would have taken one here. Then that would have been a confirmation for upside. It's actually still not far, but I just don't like the fact that this has already made what looks like 5 waves. We could be looking for the last 5th wave here and then deeper correction before we make a move to the upside. So it's a bit too high to buy here, a bit too expensive. Wait for another pullback. Audi CAD. So there is some Audi strength. Audi CAD has been making a base as we've discussed on Monday. The CAD pairs are making a base. We've got a push to the upside. We've got this looking like a corrective structure. Has not quite confirmed as yet. So we want to see this. We want to see this remain here. Then we're going to look for this to continue to the upside. That is Audi CAD. There is some strength in the Audi Chief. Audi Chief also has not confirmed upside. We've made a move to the upside. Let's see if this is going to get to around this level. Holding if I'm in, which one? Which one? Audi New Zealand, yes, you can hold if you're in. You can hold Audi New Zealand if you're in. All right, you can actually, I don't know where you entered. This is where you should put your stop for now. New Zealand CAD. We want to see continuation to the upside, as it is no confirmation as yet, because this can do that before going to the upside. So we stay out of that one for now. New Zealand Chief, nothing new there. We'll see New Zealand Chief come retest the low here and a bounce. CAD. Okay, Chief, could this be the reversal that we focused on yesterday? So this can go and bounce and come back to around this level and give us this. But let's watch it first for this move. S&P 500 still hovering around the same level, but it looks like with the indicators, this is going to continue to push to the upside, and we are not going to get that one more down that we are focusing. But like I said yesterday, we will only invalidate that structure if this takes and starts making continuation to the upside. As it is, there's still a possibility that this is a 3 waves. We come back one down and then upside. Dow Jones. Let's look at the Dow. So the Dow, looking likely for a drop here. We should see the Dow do this. That's the structure we're expecting on the S&P 500, that this drops and then makes a move to the upside. Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, we are looking at this. We looked at this to be a continuation pattern for a move to the upside. Looks like these are 5 waves. So let's see how far this is going to push and give us a correction for upside. UK 100, no trade setup there. We are seeing a similar structure as an S&P 500 for this move to do this. DAX, since we got this one from the blue box here, it has been pushing to the upside. Looks like we're still going to continue to the upside. We're still bullish. Nikkei also got that from the blue box. Now making a correction here. We are still bullish, very bullish. Nifty, it's an impulse. You don't analyze an impulse after this corrective structure. It just went shooting up. Only when you get a correction will you get a continuation to the upside. Let's look at the cryptocurrencies. So far the cryptocurrencies are following the structure that we forecasted 2 weeks back. So that structure is that this is going to do that. We were here on Sunday, expecting this to continue to the downside. This is the structure. So we've now made this move to the downside. Yesterday we were here, we have dropped, we got to around this level. Are we now getting a bounce in the red wave? Very likely. We've got these 3 waves. We can have this one coming down. We can have this one as a purple. We can have this one here. Only then will we complete the structure. The structure will complete here. We can take this off here. So the structure will complete here. And whatever we're getting here will be this upside. So let's watch this. We've got our move down. Are we going to get another leg to the upside for the red? That's how we're looking at this. Ethereum, remember the structure that we expected that is going to continue to the downside? It has. And we expected that we're going to have a bounce here like that. So let's see if those structures are still going to play out. They still look like they're going to play out. Same thing with Litecoin, same structure as Ethereum. We expected it to come down, give us this structure, to come down, 1, 2, and a possible push to the upside. Thank you so much, William. XRP, same. We've made the 3 waves to the upside. We've now come around this one, going down correctively. We can't really see the structure clearly here. It looks like a double XY correction. So let's watch and see how this is playing out. So we could be getting this. This is actually what we focused on, that we have got 1, 2, 3. So even if we do push up from current levels, we're just following the structure that we had forecasted. Let's see if we're gonna get those structures. Dodge, nothing new there, not much of a move. ADA, not much of a move either, just a flat there and a move up in 3, a move down in 3. We'll expect another move up in 3. That's all for this morning, guys. So just keep track of the cryptocurrencies and look for setups. So far, there is nothing. We are not looking for any setups, especially to the upside. Let's see those pullbacks first on the cryptocurrencies. That's all for this morning. Look out for the live technical analysis at 11 a.m. Have a good day, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.